Thank you for joining me. On today's episode of Bible Blueprint of the New Testament, we are looking at the book of First Peter. Now, First Peter is 21st in order in the New Testament. There are 5 chapters in the book of First Peter, and the type of book it is epistle or general. An overview on the book of First Peter. This epistle was written by Peter from Babylon soon after Nero's persecution of Christians. A Roman emperor in the 60s AD, Nero hated Christianity and did terrible things to Christians. Peter addressed the Jews and Gentiles with encouragement to stay the course with Jesus and not deny the faith despite difficult circumstances. Now, the book of First Peter was written in 64 AD. The time period covered all eras in the age of grace, and the author is the Apostle Peter. Now, there are 5 sections to the book of First Peter. Section 1, a praise under fire, be on the alert. We see this in chapter 1. In spite of strained persecution of the saints, Peter offers a praise of God and expresses that salvation has been foreknown since the earliest of Old Testament prophets. He tells the people that the word of God endures forever and reminds them to hold on to their hope of the future. Section 2, hope. We see this in chapter 2. Peter preaches that the people are being built into a holy priesthood despite being foreigners and exiles. He tells them to live holy lives that are worthy of their calling as a special people to God. Section 3. A word to the married, rewards for suffering for doing good. We see this in chapter 3. Peter tells husbands and wives to be kind and respectful. He teaches that people will meet with less harm by doing good, but if they meet harm, they will be richly blessed. Section 4. Live for God, suffering due to faith. We see this in chapter 4. Peter exhorts Christians not to partake in pagan debauchery, not to fear their threats of pressure, and not to depart from the faith. He expresses that it is better to be a martyr than a murderer and reminds the people to live for God. Section 5, a word for elders. We see this in chapter 5. Peter gives practical and well-quoted exhortations. God oppresses the proud that shows favor to the humble. I should say to show favor to the humble. Cast all your anxiety on him because he cares for you. Your enemy, the devil, prowls around like a roaring lion looking to devour, etc. All right, that brings us to the end of our overview on the book of First Peter. That's all for now. God bless.